What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode number 85.
85.
Did I skip a lot? Holy shit,
I think you
so
skipped
many.
like three of them. I thought last episode was like 82.
Oh, it's 83. It's 83. It's
my
83.
God. Chill out.
Anyway, this weekend, everything has been thrown in the blender. There's not much left in the tank right now for us.
Yeah, now I know how Packer fans feel.
We are the biggest losers. Well, Everett's not as big of a loser as I am, but collectively overall, we are the biggest losers in all of sports. More so just me. And I'll just talk about myself.
More so just you.
I'm the biggest loser in all of sports. Ohio State lose to Michigan. And then we miss a field goal against Georgia to go on and win the Natty. USC, heartbreaking loss to Utah twice. And then Tulane, one of the most famous chokes and collapses in college football history. So that's just my college football teams. And then we get to this cursed franchise that for some fucking reason, God put this team on me. The Los Angeles Chargers went out and had the most embarrassing postseason choke ever, other than the Atlanta Falcons in the Super. I'm sorry, Falcons fans. You did not deserve to take that jab, but I have to make myself feel better some way. So other than the Atlanta Falcons, sorry once again, the most embarrassing, pathetic choke in the history of the National Football League.
Postseason.
Yeah.
Postseason.
Yeah.
The Colts did lose 33-0. They were up 33-0 this year. So postseason.
Yes. But I'm the biggest loser in all of sports. There's no other way around it.
I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest loser. I have no other way to say it. I'm a fucking clown. I'm a fool. I'm a dummy. I'm stupid. I have nothing to live for in my life.
Okay, all right.
I just wake up every morning and I'm just a loser.
Dial it back. There we go.
I'm just a loser, Everett. And I just support a bunch of loser teams.
Were you cheering for the Vikings on Sunday?
I told you, I sent all the energy I had left.
Yeah, you're why we lost.
Yeah, I was also quickly going to say after I tweeted that out to you, because immediately after you guys gave a touchdown, I want to say I also want it on record. You might not want me rooting for your team.
No. Can you root for the Eagles next week? I know it's really hard to do, but can you do that?
But okay, this is another thing. Like, because both of our teams are eliminated, like you're an asshole if you're not rooting for the Bills, you know?
No, I know, but can you root for the Eagles?
The goodness of the Bills, should I? Well, I fuck with the Bengals too, so I don't want to put that on them.
So just go.
And I honestly don't really have any problems with Jacksonville.
Go cheer for the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
So you're rooting for the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Mainly Chiefs. I'm just gonna let you know that now. But my NFC team is the Eagles.
I'm gonna need you to support the Eagles hard.
I'll be live tweeting next week hard about it. Also, Everett, you're not gonna like this news, but Lane Johnson will be playing next week.
It doesn't matter to me anymore.
But hey, I mean, fuck the Eagles, right?
Fuck the Eagles. Well, not for you because you want to support the Eagles, but fuck
no, I love the Eagles. Philly Dreams and Nightmares. It's the only song I play. But yeah, I guess we'll start off with my team. Okay,
I want to start off with something else first, actually.
Thank you. Spare me, please.
Big game on Sunday between the Dolphins and the Bills. Right, Bills America's.
Oh yeah, we can go over the other games that happened in the playoffs too. I kind of blocked them all out, but yeah, we could do that.
There's one moment specifically. There's two moments specifically in this game that I wanted to talk about. One was the final kind of go around for the Dolphins offense to end that game, and the second one is a very particular moment that Mike McDaniel got caught in 4K with. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about here.
Yep.
But First things first,
I have a take on that, but go on.
Mike McDaniel on that 4th down where they got, it was like their last like end all be all, right? And they get delay of game. Mike McDaniel said that the call from upstairs was that they had gotten that 1st down. So one, what do you think about that and how that connects to everything? And two, how the fuck do you let your quarterback or your team on, even if it's 4th and 1 or you think it's a 1st down, how do you still get a delay a game call either way? Like even if it's a 1st down, that's still a delay a game. It doesn't make a difference.
I had no idea that they heard from up top like we got the 1st. And so
That's what he said at least.
I mean, who knows if that's actually true or not. But I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of Skylar Thompson here. If the dude in your ear is telling you like, all right, we just got the 1st, we picked it up, they're giving you plain shit, you line up to line, have the play call, then you look over and you just see 4th down, you're like, wait a fucking second, what?
But also like
I can understand how that could throw him
they
off.
were in the huddle with 8 seconds left on the play clock.
No, that also where no, like I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that unless in the play itself, while they were in the huddle, the O coordinator was telling him one play, then with fucking 20 seconds left on the play call, someone in his ear finally told him like it's 4th down, and then he was trying to change last second. That seems more likely.
You think
happened.
that they thought it was 1st down, and then midway through the
that
play call
explains
on 1st down,
it. They probably switched the play.
I don't
told
know.
It's
4th down, so they then had to change the play and adjust, and that's
no,
why.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that is true, and the Dolphins' offensive staff was under the impression they picked up the 1st. If that is true, I can definitely see a scenario where they're now giving Skylar a call. Then they find out, oh shit, it's 4th down. We need to change it. And also remember, headset cuts out at 15 seconds. So
I forgot about that.
I wouldn't be shocked if there was 18 seconds left.
They might not have
3 seconds to get the call. He doesn't even tell it. Can't even get the full play out. And Skylar Thompson's thinking in his fucking head, what is the rest of this play? Like that.
Also, it could have been they got the play out because they were still in the huddle at 8 seconds.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like, off, so he might not
them
have
being in the huddle that long.
But I'm saying they might not have known that it was even 4th down, and then he gets up to the line with like 5 seconds left, realizes it's 4th down, and then starts fucking making adjustments and shit. I still would have fucking called that play though. I don't care what it's 4th and 1. Like even if it's like a deep shot or some shit, like 30 yards downfield, still call it. You can probably just check. You have a check down there. Like do that. Like it's 1 yard.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
It's not that hard unless you're Kevin O'Connell and it's 3rd and 1 and you decide to call a screen pass from Justin Jefferson to Kirk Cousins. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll also get into a Joe Lombardi's 3rd and short antics in a little bit with Michael Bandy running a jet sweep to a dude who did not even know that it was a jet sweep to him. Anyway, I digress. Back to that Miami Buffalo game. If Tua's in this game, is Miami winning this?
I honestly would have to say yeah. Like if
also remember earlier this year when Miami went to Buffalo, it was a closer game than people expected.
Let's say that the score. Well, also that second game was the one where they were wasn't the second game the one where Tua threw 3 picks? Wasn't that the game that Tua threw 3 picks in the second half in?
It could have. I'll be honest, I don't exactly.
Tua probably was concussed during every fucking game in the second half of the season. Let's be honest.
To be completely honest, like just from a Tua health perspective, like if he played in that game and were to get another concussion head injury, like he might call the career wraps.
He'd have to be medically disqualified, like straight up medically disqualified from playing in the NFL.
Like Tua.
But let's say Tua is fully healthy, right? Let's say that the game plays out the exact same way, but you have Tua on that last drive instead of Skylar Thompson. Let's just say that that's what happens. Okay, so now you're on that last drive with Tua instead of Skylar Thompson, and you are down by what, like 3 points, right? I think that if that's the case, the Dolphins do score there.
I definitely would trust Tua way more, 100%. I do think though Dolphins, it's a weird state right now. Kind of where that franchise is heading. Obviously,
I think it's positive.
No, it is obviously positive. Like, I mean, they went from 8-3 to 9-8. So I mean, obviously back half of the season, but you could point to the Tua injury. There are a lot of things you could point to. Overall, Miami though, I just feel like for this whole division, AFC East as a whole, Jets really showed up this year. AFC East kind of
a very
surpassed
good
people's
division.
expectations in
That's going
terms
to
of
be
how they'd be
a very
top to
good division
bottom.
going forward.
I still
'Cause
think
it's
Dolphins are going to keep knocking on the door right there, competing with the
Dolphins,
Bills.
Jets, Patriots, and Bills.
Yeah, no, very, very tough division.
Patriots still a good team. They were right on the brink of the playoffs. Jets
Literally
really good.
change out the
Really
O
good
coordinator.
until they
and the-
decided to start Zach Wilson again, and Mike White's ribs imploded. Bills obviously great, and the Dolphins made the playoffs without their starting quarterback for 5 weeks.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of good stuff there. If you're a Dolphins fan, and obviously you have to be happy with how Tyreek and
That
Waddle
might
played
actually
first
be
year.
the best division in the NFL.
It probably is. Like
That or the
earlier this
NFC
year, I
Beast.
was saying AFC best, but that's clearly not it. So I
It's
give
either
it to
that or the NFC
AFC Beast. AFC Beast.
It's either the AFC Beast or the NFC Beast.
Yeah, it is between those two. I think just bottom half AFC Beast a little better than bottom half NFC Beast. You could fight with me on that
Yeah,
one.
I mean the Patriots, the Jets, I guess, are the equivalent of the Commanders in this situation.
Yeah, like Jets, Patriots, Commanders.
Yeah, I guess talent wise, the AFC Beast is a little bit better. But if you look at just by accolades this year, the NFC Beast was better.
No,
but
yeah. Overall, that game though, like Buffalo come out swinging, and like the way these NFL games have been going. Whoever gets the early lead, better watch the fuck out.
Also,
brother.
keep in mind, by the way, when we're recording this, we are recording this 2 hours before the very last playoff game.
This is before Cowboys Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks already won that game, so we don't need to watch it. Like we know the Bucks are winning, guys.
Yeah,
Cowboys are definitely winning now, but yeah, Bucks are winning that game.
Well, just start. I mean, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady played his ass off. Tom Brady played his ass off last night.
Not phased by any curses. I mean, he wasn't phased by the Madden curse. He sure as hell isn't phased by the Grant curse.
I can't believe Dak threw 3 picks last night against the Bucks. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you just had to ask yourself, am I going to bet on Tom Brady or Dak Prescott?
Dude, what I really can't believe is Zeke fumbling on the first play of the game.
Oh, awful. They bench him and then he retired on the sideline. It was crazy.
He was like Antonio Brown. Like he ran off at halftime.
No, yeah, and I mean, I can't blame him. Zeke's an Ohio State legend.
I honestly, actually, the most surprising thing is when he was running off, the fact that he stole the Salvation Army.
Yeah, now that's a really questionable move. We know Zeke's past with the Salvation Army.
Get that off the field.
Yeah, there's just a lot of question marks surrounding last night's game.
What I was most surprised of is when he stole that and then he ran it to the Buccaneers sideline and trapped Tom Brady underneath it. That was really.
I was also surprising. Really shocked when Dak Prescott requested to get a trade to the Bucks at halftime he could secure his first playoff win. That was a really interesting move. Definitely something we gotta think about a little bit more.
I didn't think that Mike McCarthy was actually gonna whip out a real Denny's menu this time. I thought that like we were all joking about that.
No, I can't believe like
Denny's menu from home.
No, like literally eating the All-Star special on the field.
No, like literally, like
never seen
the eggs. The eggs Benedict was on that back page right there. I was really curious about that play.
No, yeah, he fucking crushed that breakfast burrito going into the second quarter. But in all seriousness, though, yeah, we're just recording before that game, and at the end of the day, you guys, you just want to hear the losers talk. Okay, time to talk about some losers. Los Angeles Chargers heading to Jacksonville.
Actually, no, there's still one more. There's still one more thing. We need to talk about Mike McDaniel puffing.
Oh, I totally forgot
blowing
about that.
some smoke.
Shit. Okay. Now, if we want to talk about ushering a new younger audience, name a better way to do it than that. Okay, Mike McDaniel, you know, the new hip coach in the league, wearing Jordans on the sidelines, making the funny little comments in the press conferences. Who else but Mike McDaniels to go out and just vape on the sideline in a playoff game?
I probably thought, by the way, that he was like outsmarting everybody because it's already cold. Like you see your breath come out, right? Like,
100%.
He's probably like,
no,
oh,
he
I
definitely
can get away
thought
with
he found
this.
a
Like, don't worry about it. And then bro gets caught in 4K. You couldn't see anything.
What
it's
is
all
this?
Inference.
What is this?
It's all inference.
Why are you holding why are you holding your hand in a fist
and making a sucking motion?
Yeah, what could that be about?
If it's cold, you kind of blow into it. That bro was.
And you would do both hands. You don't just do
Yeah.
one. You blow into both. Get them both.
Where
Warm.
you like do a little rubbing motion
Yeah,
like this.
exactly.
Too.
You don't just do it with your
That'd
left
be
off
very
hand.
interesting, by the
Actually,
way.
I think it was
all of this, by the way, for people listening to the podcast and not watching it on YouTube. Very interesting descriptions going on here.
Yeah, no, you definitely want the visual look to really see what we're doing.
Do
here.
you?
But Mike
I don't know.
McDaniel, by not doing this and only doing this,
Sucking on it.
it really makes you think, could this be a distraction for the Dolphins in the future? Could this be a distraction?
Do you think Roger
was
Goodell's
Tua
going to find him?
vaping and that's why he got a concussion?
Okay, let's not go that route. Do you think Roger Goodell's going to find him? 'Cause I could see that happening.
I mean, well, we obviously do not know 100% if it was a vape, but it was a vape. Now, Roger Goodell, we could see.
the
I
NFL's
recently
fined for less. I mean, shit. They
no, yeah. They just
less for shoving a trainer than Jamal Williams.
Find Jamal Williams for the Hingle McCringleberry silly, like,
and they fined him more than they did Quay Walker for shoving and fighting an athletic trainer after everything that went down with DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, but just
Packers bias,
great
bullshit.
great memories of Week 18. I don't think he'll suspend him though. I don't think any moves will be made. I do think
fine.
Oh,
They
fine,
give
fine,
him a
fine.
fine.
Oh, fine.
I don't think that there'd be a suspension at all. Like that's a personal choice. They have no jurisdiction over that.
I can see though, like on the sidelines. Now, obviously they're not going to suspend him, but shit, I've seen the NFL do crazier things.
Do you think that there's a
know.
player that like walks up to Mike McDaniel like during halftime or something? He's like, "Yo,
let me get a hit."
Like, let me get a hit real quick.
Yeah, you think Waddle's coming out to him like, "Yo, coach, let me get a hit."
He's like, dude. He's like, coach, I know why I'm dropping the balls. I need a hit. I
need a little extra boost, if you know what I mean, coach.
I mean, it's not a banned substance, so
like I was actually thinking about this though. Okay. Like Joe Namath, there's obviously the picture of him ripping a cigarette at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's nothing illegal. Like if a player like wanted to play with like Dippin, didn't Adrian Peterson like play a game with Dippin?
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
I remember hearing some story. It might have been
there's a
AP
lot
or it was
of
Mike
stories
Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer. Well,
Big Dipper. It might
have been Mike Zimmer.
Big Dipper. It might have been Mike Zimmer on the sides, but he got fined by the NFL for like on camera. They like got him like.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
I think that was it.
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
It's the same thing with the MLB. Like you're allowed to dip, but you can't get caught on camera. And there's also a great story of Mike Clevenger in his like last inning for the Cleveland Indians at the time. He's like, I want to go out like a legend, put in a full fucking mouth of dip, and then he booted on the mound because it was too much dip and he couldn't take it out because he'd get fined. So
yeah.
Anyway, that was a little off topic, but you know what? Like, you are in theory allowed to be dipping on the sidelines. So like if it was halftime,
I don't really think though, like no players.
It is a bad look though to just be vaping.
I don't think any players. I don't think any players dip. Like some of them, because like a lot of them will chew gum or something. Like you just can't do that live during a game because of how hard the contact is.
I can't believe it.
Between your teeth.
No, Everett, trust me. Like I would never even dare. But those dudes are hard as fuck. I guarantee there is at least one man out there dipping. At least I guarantee it.
It's probably like a punter or some shit.
Oh, I was thinking like a strong safety. Like I can see, I can 100% see Derwin. 100
somebody they use like gum and stuff.
Or a middle linebacker, bro. Oh yeah. Oh, you're telling me. Wait. You're telling me Blake Martinez didn't have a lip in when he was playing? Come on, Blake Martinez had a lip in. Come on.
I think that.
Come on.
I can see coaches doing it. I don't really think players.
Coaches 100%. Like my fucking high school coaches were dipping. I'm like, what's that little plastic bottle,
Speaking of dipping, let's get on to the Chargers.
And time to bolt the fuck
down.
Their
fucking chances and probability of making it through the playoffs dipping.
Okay, time to talk about the Chargers. So first thing I want to say, just in perfect Chargers fashion, if you look at the ESPN win probability chart of the game, it is in the shape of the Chargers logo, looking really good, peeking out about that second quarter. And then it's just a nice little swoop downhill. Perfect.
Bolt up.
Perfect Chargers bolt right there. So, this literally describes how that game went win probability wise. let's just start off with the first half. What a start to the game. You can't ask for a better start, okay? The Jaguars gave us 17 points to start the game off of 3 turnovers. Then we picked off Lawrence again. Didn't score on that drive. And then their punt return muffed a fumble. And we had the ball on like the 6-yard line.
Muffed a punt, not muffed a fumble.
Muffed a punt and fumbled. And we were up, I think at the time, 17-0. Might have actually, no, at the time we were up 24-0.
You were up 27-0, I'm pretty sure, before
No, that point, we were up 24-0. We settled for a field goal, got 1 yard on 4 plays after recovering that turnover. So at that point in the game, we were +5 turnover differential, okay? Up 27-0. Okay. You can interpret this how you want, but in my opinion, Chargers score a touchdown right there after that muffed punt, after that muffed play. Game is over. Okay, I would even be willing to say game is over.
I mean, they scored there, yeah, but also like there's a lot of other things. Like they missed a field goal later in the game.
No, I know. We're about to get into all that shit. But it's just to be spotted 27 points in a playoff game, like literally given 27 points with short fields, and to not be able to do anything else on offense other than when we're in short field situations is embarrassing and pathetic. Okay. Second, fuck, we're not gonna get the second half yet. The way this is what I had to say. When the Chargers went up 27-0 ever and we kicked that field goal and didn't score a touchdown, the saddest part about the existence of being a lifelong Chargers fan is that I knew deep down, oh shit, this game's not out of reach. I'm gonna be honest. Every single time.
What we'll bring back is I'll bring back the receipts between me and you. Okay. I texted you. I was trying to get your live reactions during this game towards the end, which you were not a fan of, but
I didn't know how to put it into words.
I texted you at halftime, and I said, so when do we think that Brandon Staley is going to actually rest players this time? And your response.
Oh yeah.
Your response to that. Okay. I gotta find it real quick.
No, yeah. I mean, it was a Chargers fan perspective.
So this is, I said, let's see if Staley opts to rest players this time. And you said, we're the Chargers. Game's not over at all. You were down 33-0 in a game 2. This is the NFL. No resting players right now in the playoffs.
I hate to admit it, but I was right.
Do you think though that if they put in their second strings that like they would have won the game?
Okay. Well, we're about to dive into that in a sec. Okay. The thing is, I knew when they were up 27-0, this game isn't out of reach. I'm going to be honest, like in the back of my head, every single time we kept on putting points before the Jaguars scored, I was actually a little nervous and kind of wishing we stopped scoring so much, because the memes of 27, literally when we went up 27-0, it just popped in my head like we're going to lose this game and it's going to be 27-0 and then the final score. And I'm going to have to look at that every day in the off season for the rest of this year. Probably even for the next decade of my life, I'll still be looking at that. That's the saddest part of this reality, is that any lifelong Chargers fan saw this coming from a mile away, and they knew this shit was never
those
out
dudes,
of reach.
By the way, those dudes that you were sitting next to at the stadium when you're playing the Titans. They knew exactly what the fuck was about to happen.
Now, to be completely honest, if I don't have those guys at the bathroom after the Chargers beat the Titans, I might not be thinking the same way at halftime. Okay. Those 40-year-old dudes, they were looking at me. I was giddy as a motherfucker after Dicker hit that field goal to beat the Titans. And this dude next to me, we're pissing, he looks at me, he's like, I've been there too at one point. Doesn't end well, kid. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, this is just like the reality of the fact. Okay, now time to talk a little bit about the game. Start of the game. Holy fuck, that defense. I've never seen them playing. I've never seen this defense playing like that at the start. Mac, and not really Bosa, but Mac was getting a lot of pressure early. We were blitzing. Kenneth Murray getting a sack. We were actually bringing pressure. I'm actually going to give a shout out to Brandon Staley and his defensive play calling that first half. He put on a fucking clinic out there. Trevor Lawrence had no idea what the fuck was going on. He was seeing ghosts out there like Sam Darnold, okay? he was literally just toying with T-Law. There was one play that was so good. Pre-snap, they have Christian Kirk on the right hash. They motion him over to the left, and they have Michael Davis following him, indicating that it's man coverage. Right before the play snaps, Derwin gives Michael Davis a little look like, check out of this shit. We're playing zone. They switch to zone. Asante, or they have the crossing route underneath. I think it was to Kirk, or it could have been Zay Jones, but Asante Samuel was right there for his fucking second pick on the underneath route, playing the flats. And like, I was just watching all that shit. I'm like, damn, Trevor Lawrence has no idea what's going on. Right? Literally has no idea what's going on right now. And so my hat's off to Staley in that first half and how he called that defense. Like he had T-Law guessing. Then in the second half, okay.
We're giving that Donatella a run for his money.
We're up 27-7 with the ball starting the second half. We won the toss and deferred, okay? We're up 27-7 in a half where we didn't even start with the ball, okay? In the back of your mind, you're thinking, game is fucking over. Nope, not with this franchise, okay? Start off the second half, we cannot get a run game going. When the Chargers, after going up 27-0, guess how many rushing yards we had after that point?
5.
-3. After going up 27-0, the team combined for -3 rushing yards. What? I've never heard of that in my life. Like, ever. I actually don't even know how the fuck can you even rationalize that statement? What? What? -3 rushing yards? And this is in the final 33 minutes of the game. We ran for -3 rushing yards, okay? So there's that. And then second half play calling, okay? Now, in classic Chargers fashion, a lot of guys get hurt around halftime, end of that second quarter. So Michael Davis, who I've been shouting out a lot over the past couple of weeks and was playing phenomenal in coverage, he gets hurt. He's not playing in the second half. Jasir Taylor, a rookie, comes in, and he is literally being hunted like a deer out there. Every single play Jacksonville was throwing to him, every single play in that second half. We see Michael Davis go out, and then on offense, DeAndre Carter, who's our, return man, journeyman, been all over the league, he gets hurt in that second quarter. When he got hurt, keep in mind, DeAndre Carter, he is Mike Williams' backup. So he's usually not on the field, but because Mike Williams got hurt last week in a meaningless game, he was out there. Then,
how much of a difference do you think Mike Williams would have made?
Would have made an absurd difference. Would have made an absurd difference in the red zone. Like, that's where, like, Chargers, we cannot be settling for field goals in the red zones off turnovers. Like, the fact that they got 1 yard when they recovered the ball on like their 6-yard line, that's just unacceptable. And like, that's when you go to Mike Williams right there on the goal line, and we didn't have him. But okay, DeAndre Carter gets hurt, and so now we get to a 3rd and 1. It's the third quarter or the fourth quarter. Very, very fucking important drive. I think it was fourth quarter when we're up 10. It's a 3rd and 1. If now this play ended up going to Michael Bandy, but he didn't know the play. But let's say DeAndre Carter was on the field where this jet sweep should have gone. In the 4 or 3 plays that Joe Lombardi has called this jet sweep earlier in the year, it has combined for -21 yards, this jet sweep, this play. So this play all season has combined for -21 yards. So first, even if DeAndre Carter's out there on a 3rd and 1, when Justin Herbert has over a 95% success rate on QB sneaks. So keep that in mind too. But we decide to run the fucking jet sweep to DeAndre Carter, which has -21 yards. Only problem is DeAndre Carter was hurt for that play. Michael Bandy was on the field filling in for DeAndre Carter on that play. You know what the problem was? Michael Bandy was not practicing all week with the team. He had never ran that play literally in his fucking life. And so when he was doing the jet sweep, he's running by Herbert, and Herbert's handing off the ball. Bandy's going like this. Like, why are you fucking giving me the ball? Bandy didn't know the play. So how the fuck on 3rd and 1 in the fourth quarter of a playoff game, we're giving the ball to a practice squad receiver when let's say the practice wide receiver wasn't even in the first place, the play didn't work all year. What the fuck we doing? What? It makes no sense. So that's Joe Lombardi. What the fuck are you doing? Number one, Michael Bandy, jet sweep on 3rd and 1. No, literally, I have no idea what was going through his mind when he called that. Was he sitting there looking like, we're finally going to get it and I'm going to prove all the fans wrong? Told you the jet sweep works. No, you dumb fuck. Look at where we are now. The laughing stock of the fucking NFL.
Not in the playoffs.
Okay. Obviously, I'm a little, you might be getting more hate than, no, the Chargers are getting more hate than Minnesota because it was 27-0.
Well, also, like, that was a full team collapse for the Chargers.
Yeah.
The defense for the Vikings, for us, 31st in the league, was dog shit the entire game.
Yeah.
Kirk made a terrible choice on that last pass, and like, he'll get ridiculed for that. But I mean, there's not much we could do at that point anyway.
I'll be honest. I'm obviously very, very biased, but it's like literally I could not open Twitter immediately after that game. But okay, lack of offense. Okay, 0 offense. Off turnovers, we were able to get some shit together, but could not sustain a drive the whole fucking game. It was pathetic. It was embarrassing. So the offense, just an embarrassment. Okay, no other way to put it. Also, another fun fact, Everett, we were +5 in the turnover
differential.
difference.
Yep.
+5. I looked it up. Teams historically who are +5 in the turnover department have a 98.7% win rate in the National Football League. Not the Chargers, though. We're that 1.3%, Everett. We're that 1.3%. So I don't know how you lose, forget even a playoff game, a game when you're +5 in the turnover differential. And then Joe Lombardi time. Okay, Joe Lombardi. I was just talking about the offense a lot with that Michael Bandy play calling and stuff. But Joe Lombardi, you, sir, because we're about to touch on Brandon Staley, who unfortunately I don't think is going. And I think they officially announced he's staying today. But something has to change, okay? At this point,
Joe Lombardi.
Justin Herbert, you are doing him a disservice by keeping Lombardi. And I understand a lot of people are thinking, well, we don't want to get another coordinator. That'll be Justin's 3rd O coordinator in his career. The current O coordinator is not going to get him anywhere. So we got to make the transition fucking today.
And if anybody wants to talk about like, oh, second year in the system doesn't matter if
the system sucks.
If your play caller cannot fucking call plays properly when it is needed.
It doesn't fucking matter year 2 in the system if you've just put out such an awful display in your game so far. But okay, so Joe Lombardi, I'm done with you at the minimum. I still think Staley should go.
Okay, so why don't we go through this and then we'll go through I'll go for the Vikings. What off-season moves need to be made for the Chargers to be Super Bowl contenders next year?
So thinking about cap room salary-wise, JC Jackson's contract just fucks over this whole team. Just to be completely honest, just right from the get-go, that man fucks over this team. I think Michael Davis, we have to re-sign no matter what. I think we can still get him. I think we can keep him. Unfortunately, Bryce Callahan, I fucking love Bryce Callahan. Thought he played phenomenal. He was really, really good against Christian Kirk also in that game. Only issue is Bryce Callahan. We are not going to have the money we probably do have the money to do it, but we're not going to fucking re-sign him. He's gone. We need to go find a nickel corner. Maybe we have the answers though. If JC Jackson comes back and we have Asante and Michael Davis, maybe we do already have the answers at corner. We'll have to see though. I think Drew Tranquill, I really like him a lot. And I think we probably should re-sign him. I thought he brought a lot of energy, but at the end of the day, it's a middle linebacker. I could see him gone and yada, yada. See ya. Nasir Adderley, also 2nd round pick. He's gone. See ya. He got benched last week for Loie Gilman. So I think we know what the Chargers think about him as a player. So he's gone. See ya, Nasir. And then in terms of offense, I think we got to re-sign Gerald Everett. I'm actually not sure what his contract outlook is. I'm assuming we sign him on a 1 year going into this year. Gerald Everett was fucking phenomenal this season when Keenan and Mike Williams were out. Like, Justin Herbert was looking at Everett so fucking much this year on critical 3rd down, 2nd downs. And so Gerald Everett, I think he 100% earns himself a spot on the team next year. I'm not sure how we could replace him. I saw some people floating around. Maybe we go get Michael Mayer from Notre Dame in the draft, who I like a lot. But I just think we know what we're getting out of Gerald Everett. I don't think we need to pay him that much either. I'd like to keep him. Offensive line needs serious fucking rework and serious movement. Now, maybe we can just slot in Sawyer at left guard. He can fill in. So Matt Filer, he's current left guard. He's going to be gone. He's getting up there in age too. But we're going to keep Lindsley at center. Zion Johnson, the rookie, is obviously going to be playing right guard. But then right tackle Pipkins, he's also gone. So have moving pieces on right tackle. And to be honest, that's kind of a position that I would like to upgrade in the draft, to go with Slater off the edges, because this year, without the protection, Justin Herbert, like, he had to throw the check down every play. Like, he literally did not have the time to throw 15-yard passes. His backup receivers couldn't get open in time. So he needs the help back there. That's what, just kind of first glance roster moves I'm thinking. Keep Gerald Everett. We got to fucking get that right tackle position solidified, and find out if Sawyer is the guy at left guard. Need to find that out too.
Yeah.
And on defense, there's just gonna be a lot of question marks about the secondary with Bryce Callahan gone. I pray they re-sign Michael Davis, but we'll see. Maybe Michael Davis earned himself a lot of money with how he played down the stretch. I don't know entirely what his value is going to be. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts on defense. Also, kind of that whole D line are on 1 years. Morgan Fox is on a 1 year. I know Sebastian Joseph Day is on a 2, but there's going to be moving pieces on that D line itself too. There's going to be a lot of question marks.
Do you make some trades?
So just thinking back at how this franchise works, we don't like giving up first round picks. That's also another big reason why the Chargers are kind of thinking they don't need to go after Sean Payton, because they don't want to give up a first rounder. They're thinking that they're better off keeping Staley and having that pick, which I disagree with. But just the way the owners operate, like, they're not going to get rid of Staley. Like, Staley will be the head coach next year. I do think you have to fire Joe Lombardi. Like, it's inexplicable if you keep him. Like, I cannot think of a positive reason why you'd want to keep him on staff other than like continuity and keeping the same offense. But the offense isn't working. Fuck. Then again, now I guarantee Joe Lombardi's going up to the fucking GM telling him, yeah, all my fucking left tackle was hurt all year. My receivers were hurt. Like, what do you expect? So shit. Like, and knowing how these owners work, they'll probably be like, you know what? You're right. You weren't given a fair chance this year because our owners are fucking dumb. But there needs to be moving pieces in that coaching staff. Like, there has to be. I know Staley's not going to go, but Joe Lombardi, brother, you gotta fucking go. You gotta go.
Okay.
Sorry. This is my very last thing.
Been talking about Joe Lombardi for like the last 3
minutes. My very last thing. Joey Bosa, I have a lot of thoughts on you. So I'm wearing his jersey right now. I got 97 on. I fucking rep Ohio State boys till the day I die. But Joey Bosa, I was really, really disappointed. Obviously, with his penalties, his comments after the game, but at the end of the day, his fucking play on the field as well. Okay. I wasn't seeing shit all game from Bosa going up against fucking Jawan Taylor. I wasn't seeing shit all game. No pressures, no fucking nothing. And I know he was being held. I know he was getting held a lot. Okay. This is my one thing. If you're an elite edge rusher in the NFL, you're going to be held every play. Joey Bosa, you came from Ohio State. You know what it means to be held on every single play and it never be called. Like, of all people, Joey Bosa should know better than most what it's like to be held on every play. And the refs do not call holding ever. Fun fact of the day, Ohio State was the only team in the Power 5 that did not have a single holding penalty called on the other team against them last year. Only team.
Round of
Literally.
applause. Round of applause.
No one held against Ohio State's D-line last year, guys. Really fucking impressive by all those O-line groups. But if you're an all-pro, Pro Bowl DN getting paid $30 million a year plus, the refs aren't going to give you calls. You can't just sit there bitching. This isn't the NBA. You can't just pull a James Harden and start complaining and getting free throws. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Like in the NFL, unless you're like Tom Brady, the more you complain to the refs, the less likely you'll get calls. Like that's just how it works. So when I saw Bosa bad mouthing the refs after plays getting held, complaining, bitching, you cannot do that if you're a star D end on your team. First, you're not going to get any calls. And second, it just sends a bad message to your fucking teammates. I don't see Khalil Mack out there bitching. I don't see Derwin James out there bitching. Only Bosa. And now, Bosa's post-game comments, he was saying like, yeah, I'm hurt right now. I'm playing on half a leg in the very Joey S tone, very fucking monotone, not giving you anything. Playing on half a leg. I'm fucking hurt out here, cussing all the time. And he was like, yeah, they're dragging me to the ground. They can get me hurt. These guys, they don't fucking care about us. Now, yeah, I get that. I can understand all those frustrations, but it's like, how are you going to go about and handle that business? Are you going to fucking go and bitch to the refs every play? Or are you just going to go out, keep on playing, and fucking like prove to the refs they are the only way that they're beating me is by holding? There's two ways to go approach that scenario, and I think Joey approached it the wrong way. Obviously, he was hurt all year. I'm not going to criticize him for that, but Jesus, it's just the way. Like he has a very bad attitude. Is kind of what I'm saying. He has bad body language. Has a bad attitude.
He needs to fix that. Okay.
I don't know if he can because he's been like that his whole career though, and that's kind of what I got on the Bolts. We're the fucking.
If it's
Los
one more
Angeles
fucking
Chargers.
word on Joey Bosa or Joe Lombardi, I swear to God.
No, it's just. I don't even know what to say at this point. We're just the laughing stock of the NFL.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yeah. No,
God,
that was just fucking awful.
That was
bad blood with Trevor Lawrence though, and also I'm not ready for the T-Law's head and shoulders better than Herbert debate. That's probably started today. So,
like 30 minutes. Okay. I don't even know where to begin with Vikings. The offense executed pretty well outside of a couple of plays. I don't know what the fuck was happening in the second half. I don't know why the fuck Justin Jefferson only got one reception in the second half when he literally had Adoree Jackson in fucking hell to start the game. So I don't know what happened, why he wasn't targeted more. When you have the best wide receiver in the NFL, the best wide receiver who plays football currently in the world, you would target him more.
That point.
You'd want to target him a little bit more, right? So don't know what the fuck was going on with Kevin O'Connell there or Wes Phillips. I don't know which one was calling the plays this game, but that should not have been the fucking case. Still, like
KFC calls them, right?
I think he might be the play caller. TJ Hawkinson, phenomenal fucking game. Did basically everything that was asked of him. He and Justin Jefferson both should get contract extensions this offseason, sign them for like 5-6 years, get them on lock, because that is going to be the future of this team. That TJ Hawkinson is, I would say, is debatably the best tight end in the NFL behind Travis Kelce right now.
Oh, I would say if you're talking pound for pound everything, George Kittle is the best tight end in the league. That man blocks like a motherfucker. I do think Hawk is a much better blocker than Kelce. And I do think overall, top to bottom, TJ Hawk at worst is top 5. I'd say top 3.
I'd say at worst you put him at 3. Anything else would be disrespectful.
Maybe Mark Andrews, but
Mark Andrews doesn't do shit besides catch the ball. Like, he's an incredible.
No. I know, but I just want to say, like, right now, I do think there's only like 4 tight ends really, including TJ Hawk, that really are a massive X factor.
So long story short, I want to lock him down. So let's get to the what we're looking at here with the offense. So when they did pretty well, right? But there are 3 plays specifically that I'm thinking of that break or make moments in this game. First one, 3rd and 1, Kevin O'Connell gets cutesy as fuck, runs a reverse sweep to Justin Jefferson, screen pass back to Kirk Cousins, who I originally thought like maybe he was gonna like try, like they were just
I thought it
trying
was
to
a double
get like
pass.
that's what I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be a double pass. And then he just ran for it. And on the replay, I was like, oh, I guess like maybe somebody just wasn't open downfield. But no, like there was not even an attempt to pass there. Like that was a screen pass back to Kirk Cousins. Like I know Kirk Cousins has some sneaky speed a little bit, but like not that fast, dude.
sneaky.
Especially not when there's two fucking corners sitting
In his
right there in the
And also, you gotta
flat in
think,
his face.
it's third and short. They're playing the short. Whatever.
Like even then, you could. It's 3rd and 1. You have the best fullback, one of the best fullbacks in the league. You have Kirk Cousins, who's great on quarterback sneaks. You have Dalvin Cook. You have Justin Jefferson, who probably could have gotten that first down on a sweep if you really set him up properly.
Dude,
so what
the bush
fuck
push,
were we
bro?
doing?
It's not hard. It's pretty easy. Just
so we have all that. Okay, now we have literally I think the next drive after that, Irv Smith's back in typical Irv Smith fashion, and the way that he will be remembered by Vikings fans for probably the rest of his career.
Was he drafted by the Vikings or traded?
No, he was drafted.
Okay.
Drops the fucking wide open pass to convert for a first down for a change of downs on 3rd down. That also changes momentum right there. We already had the momentum shift the drive before that, but that is the biggest momentum shift there because you're trying to regain your ground after that dumbass fucking play call to end the last drive. Dropping a wide open fucking pass when it's your job, you're getting paid millions of dollars to fucking do is a little bit of an issue, buddy. You're wearing Randy Moss's fucking numbers and you're playing for the Vikings. Come on, be better. So
yeah,
he's not going to be.
I think that's also something that we should have highlighted a little more earlier in the year. Irv Smith wearing, how did that get approved?
It's not a retired number. Like
I know, but Irv Smith should have had to contact Randy Moss and ask.
He should have. He should have had to pay for that.
No, literally.
Now is Randy's number's been tarnished for
ever
the next couple of years. Yeah. I hope that means we're gonna put it in the Ring of Honor after fucking Irv leaves. I hope we learned our lesson. So, yeah, he's not getting re-signed. So we have those, and then obviously the very last play of the game, 4th down. Third down, like we on that last drive, we get the 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer, which it's kind of bullshit, but roughing the passer. Then we call 2 back-to-back screen passes, which we're not good at, by the way. We call a running back screen, get -2. Then we call a tight end screen, 0 yards. Final pass. I
hate tight end screens more than anything in the world.
Final pass. We have to get 8 yards. Okay, 8 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck you have a check down behind, like at the line of scrimmage. You already had they had 2 check downs that play. They had one in Dalvin Cook he was basically just running a not a wheel route, but just an out route, just
a flat route,
a basic flat route out to be that check down. Then they had a second out route to TJ Hawkinson, which was who he threw to. So I don't know why the fuck. I understand having a check down, give that to Dalvin Cook, but I don't know why the fuck you're running anybody else inside those 8 yards, because also TJ Hawkinson torching the entire fucking middle secondary, everybody for the Giants, especially over the middle. So I don't know why the fuck you're putting him on the numbers.
And also you have a Justin Jefferson.
You have a Justin Jefferson who, by the way, I've seen the play, like how the play played out, right? Justin Jefferson got double teamed, wasn't open. Adam Thielen kind of got some separation on a long fade route, but I mean, it was pretty hard to see. KJ Osborne over the middle got open, just got butt ass naked open over the middle of the field as Kirk was throwing it to T.J. Hawkinson. I understand that Kirk was getting some pressure and just wanted to get the ball in space. But also, if that's the situation, TJ, you made some great plays the whole game, but try to fucking lateral it or some shit. Like, I know that there's nobody back there, but the game is on the line. Like, if you fumble, you fumble. It's not going to change the outcome of what happens next. Like, the defense is not doing shit. You have no timeouts. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, the biggest problem in this whole game, fucking Ed Donatel. Fuck you. Fuck you, you sack of shit. Fuck you. I would rather have Alex Grinch in a fucking box of Skittles than your bum ass. That's how fucking bad you are.
Go off, King. Go off, King.
I have never seen a more atrocious fucking defense that I've been alive for while watching the Vikings. And I have lived through Leslie fucking Frazier's team. I know he's a great defensive coordinator right now. That does not mean he was good for the fucking Vikings, okay? Even Mike Zimmer's fucking defense last year, which, by the way, I thought was the worst defense I'd ever fucking seen in my life. You somehow topped that.
Then you saw this year.
Like, here's the thing. One, fire his bum at. Like, you know what he said before, like he said this week before the game? He said that, quote, I've let the veteran players take charge like of this week. Like they're kind of handling everything. And I think that the fans are really going to like what they see from the defense this week. Fuck no. I think I dislike that more than any fucking defense you ran this year. What the fuck did I have to watch? Like, I honestly think that I could have trotted out a fucking peewee football coach and they probably would have been able to play calls better than that shit. Call plays better than that shit. Like, goddamn, give me the coach from Friday Night Lights. I'll fucking use him.
You want Coach Taylor?
Give me Coach Taylor, dude. I don't give a fuck. He's probably better than Ed Donatell's bum ass.
Okay. Now,
they had
the
a
thing
scene
is,
in Glee.
you've been talking. Yeah.
They played football in Glee too, right? Give me that fucking dude. I'll take the Glee fucking defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Or fucking Blue Mountain State. Give me the fucking Blue Mountain State.
Coach Daniels. Now that, I mean, well, then we're talking about a national powerhouse.
Renaissance.
So I mean, that guy's going to cost a pretty penny.
In general, okay, play calling, absolutely dog shit. Scheme, dog shit. Like, and then there's just general, like the only people that I saw, the only people that I saw giving effort out on the field were Duke Shelley and Daniil Hunter. Everybody else, Eric Kendricks looks like he didn't give a fuck. Jordan Hicks, slow as fucking snails. Zadarius Smith stopped fucking playing halfway through one of the plays because he was whining that Andrew Thomas got away with a false start.
I heard that too. I saw that.
Ed Donatel didn't do fucking shit to help. Didn't put in Brian Asamoah. Didn't run a QB spy. By the way, Brian Asamoah probably is the best linebacker on the team right now. And like, I don't say that jokingly. Harrison Smith didn't look like he gave a fuck.
Is he dead?
Cam Bynum didn't look like he knew what the fuck was going on. Patrick Peterson, don't even get me fucking started. That dude probably wouldn't even start for a D1.
You tweet a lot about Patrick Peterson, where I'm like, oh shit, you and Patrick Peterson.
I understand the whole mentorship, but he is not a starting cornerback in the NFL anymore. Like he is a player that deserves to be on an active roster. He deserves to get some kind of playing time, but he should not be a top 2 corner on any NFL team right now, unless it's like the Texans. He can mentor, he can develop. I'll give him that. He can get that Terrence Newman kind of role for Mike Zimmer, where Terrence Newman wasn't that great, but he was there because he was good in the locker room and good developing other corners. But fuck, he should not be fucking playing. He should not be out there starting the game. Duke Shelley, props off to him, like great player, and I'm not taking any shots at him because I love him. I think he should be extended. But when you have a corner who is 5'8" and is putting in more effort, setting up more, like stopping more fucking plays, breaking up more passes than you, that is an issue. When you are 6'3", supposed to be a Hall of Fame cornerback, that is a problem. Xavier Rhodes on his bullshit getting hurt every play probably would be better than Patrick Peterson right now. So there's all that of an issue. Just a general lack of fucking effort by the defense. Like they just looked like they didn't give a fuck. And I understand some of them is like they don't know what's happening after this year. And honestly, deservingly so. You shouldn't be on this fucking team if you do not give a fuck about winning, which is what it looked like.
So do you think, well, I mean, I think it's quite clear you don't think the Vikings have the personnel on defense right now.
No, I don't.
So okay, there's now an agreement or a disagreement. You don't really think you have the players or the coach. I think I have the players on defense, but not the coach. Now this is the thing, Everett. Now knowing that, or after you said you don't really think you had the personnel anyway, are you a little less mad at Kevin O'Connell for not firing Ed Donatell mid-season?
No. Look, like, here's the deal. Okay, first things first, Patrick Peterson, I'm fucking dumping on you because I don't think that you were that good this year, and I really don't think that you should be either
Yeah.
of the outside corners, but like he has gotten notoriety and awards this
Yeah,
year
he's a big
for
name.
doing well. I think that's kind of bullshit because I really don't think that he did much. Like they had like 1 or 2 weeks where he played well. Outside of that, I think that he was a really below average corner, starting corner this year. Just wanted to say that. But like, here's the thing. Even if you want to keep Ed Donatel on staff, I get that, but change play callers halfway through the season. At least do that. We ended with the 31st worst defense in the NFL. At the time when everybody was telling him to switch at the midseason point, we also had the 31st worst defense. If not, it was a little bit better. So it got worse over time. There's literally the only way that it could have been worse is if we were dead last, which I probably guarantee you was not that much of a difference between us and that. So
Yeah,
it really couldn't have been much worse. And also going into that, like going into next year, it can't be fucking worse. So why not change it? Okay. Get a new defensive coordinator in there. If you're going to get new players in anyways, and I'll get into that in a second, it shouldn't matter. They're going to have to learn a new system anyways. So there really shouldn't be an issue there. Also, like, okay, the Vikings going into at the end of the regular season after week 18 had a negative 3-point differential. And that's something that everybody's been looking at is point differential. Obviously the Vikings had basically, I think they had 84 points scored in the fourth quarter in overtime and 87 points scored against them or whatever, or maybe 87 points scored in just the first 3 quarters alone.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. But the reason why that was the case is because of the defense, because of how atrocious the defense is. It has nothing to do against the offense. The offense actually did really well this year for a first year. And obviously those players didn't get adjusted more into the system. And that's something that I look forward to. But then you have the other side of the argument where it's, yeah, you could have a second year system for the defense. Maybe they get more adjusted, whatever. Right. But you're putting players in positions where it's not their strong suits. Like Danielle Hunter, you're running a 3-4. He should not be an outside linebacker. Still keep him at right end. He should not be playing outside linebacker. He should not be playing drop off coverage, right? You're putting in schemes that are fucking terrible. You have no adjustments at halftime, no really care in practice. And on top of that, like you're not giving the players the ability to adjust themselves. Like I don't think that I really saw once, like any time that I remember where the players were basically being like, were you talking about Derwin James, right? He was like, hey, back off. I don't think I saw that one time this entire season. And if I did, I don't remember it. And that should also tell you something. So there is no like second year to this system. Even if that gets adjusted, all these players most likely will and should be gone, including and Ed Donatel should be too. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to get a younger defensive coordinator or just a better defensive coordinator in general, someone who's been around the block or a former head coach or something who has experience and that situation and let them do that and have more communication with these players.
I think now when I think about like Ryan Day's time at Ohio State in recent years or going into the season, he got a lot of criticism from fans for his defensive hires, or more so his lack of hiring on the defensive side of the ball and how he just kind of took what Urban Meyer had there and just kept it going. Now he came under a lot of pressure this year. He cleared house, got the new DB coaches, got Jim Knowles. I have my opinions on that. You know, I have my own thoughts, but I think going into next season, Kevin O'Connell will be judged more on what he allows to happen as a coach than what he is actually doing. Because he's shown he's a great play caller.
I agree with that. He is a great play caller. He is a great leader, but the issue remains on making the hard decisions. Kwesi has already shown that he doesn't, like our new GM, shown he doesn't give a fuck about any of the players that are currently on the team, right? There are obviously some he definitely cares about, Justin Jefferson being one, but he doesn't like he fucking released the entire last draft class essentially, besides like 2 players.
Yeah.
So he doesn't give a fuck. The issue is now Kevin O'Connell and his staff and what he does, and he can make the hard decisions. And we'll be able to see pretty damn soon if he really cares, because I can tell you one thing. Viking fans, we're a great fan base, but this is going to be one thing that we will unitably be pissed off about. Okay. And that is probably something that you do not want to have to deal with, because we can be pretty fucking annoying. We're not like the Eagles, but we can be annoying. It's like Midwestern, the Minnesota like passive aggressive.
Yeah,
nice.
no, there's definitely some.
But here's my other argument, right? Okay, look across the NFL. Look at what kind of defensive corners, who these defensive coordinators are that are prolific potential head coach candidates who have the top defenses in the NFL. Every single one of them on the younger side, and a majority of them former players. Look at DeMeco Ryans. Look at Raheem Morris, both of which former players, defensive coordinators, have some of the best defensive play calling and defensive schemes in the NFL. That is what Kevin O'Connell should probably try and pair with.
It's going to be like my one when I think about
coach a position coach. That's the biggest
when
thing.
I think about like young guys and promoting though, like I don't know DeMeco Ryans past or anything, but it seems to me if I'm DeMeco Ryans right now, I am not getting on the phone with anyone unless it's for a head coaching job.
No, I'm aware. I'm just making a comparative assessment between the Vikings and who these successful coaches are. Also, the other thing to note, by the way, like Vikings have Mike Pettine on as like as an advisor, former head coach for the Browns, defensive coordinator for the Packers when the Packers had one of the best defenses in the NFL. So they have people on staff who can do that job and do it well. The issue is whether or not Kevin O'Connell makes the hard decision to go that route. I think that even if that's not the case, Ed Donatel should do everybody a favor and just retire. And that would be the best thing for everybody. Kevin O'Connell doesn't have to make that hard decision. It's made for him. He doesn't have to deal with that. Yeah. Although Kevin O'Connell really just needs to get through that. That's a part of the job. You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to relieve people.
You're going to have to fire people as head coach.
But also, like, look at the Lions, players. Okay? A big thing of the Lions staff, and this was said on Hard Knocks, a big part of the Lions staff is Dan Campbell wanted to hire former players, people with experience, with playing experience, who've been in those situations. That was a big thing. OC and DC, both former players. Their defense was not great. They relieved their defensive coordinator halfway through the season. Next dude who stepped up, I think, actually was the other guy in contention for the defensive coordinator job for the Vikings. I think he was a former player, very young guy, turned their season around, turned their defense around, and ended up with a much better defense than the Vikings. With that, though, I kind of want to transition into what I kind of want the Vikings to do, at least immediately in the offseason. So I have a couple numbers here, and I don't really know which one is which. This says that our cap space right now is -$8 million. I've seen numbers where it's -$20 million, so I don't really know what route that is. But first things first, Kwesi has to make some hard calls for some people. Cut Harrison Smith, cut Za'Darius Smith, cut Dalvin Cook, cut Eric Hendricks, cut Jordan Hicks, and restructure Adam Thielen. Okay. Next thing, after all of that, sign Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson to long-term extensions, re-sign Duke Shelley to a 3-year deal. Okay, spread the cap out. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to free agency. Okay. So I don't know how much cap is left of that. Hopefully they can also restructure Kirk Cousins' contract. He might need an extension because I don't really think he's gonna subside for less money. Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing. Okay, go to free agency. This secondary class, the cornerback class for free agent this year is really good. Okay. Marcus Peters, a free agent. Bradley Roby's a free agent. James Bradbury, free agent. Patrick Peterson still is a free agent.
Bryce Callahan,
Mike Hughes. So there's a lot. Jabril Peppers, Byron Murphy probably get a contract extension. But
they got some names. Yeah,
Sean Murphy Bunting, by the way. Great corner for the. So, I mean, I think that you could probably get Jabril Peppers and Sean Murphy Bunting. Those are the two players for the secondary that I would make sure to sign. If you want to bring
Harrison Smith out,
I said
Jabril
cut
at
him.
free.
I said cut him.
Okay, so Jabril at okay.
I think Jabril would be at strong safety and Lewis Scene's at free safety when it comes back. I also hate the idea of cutting Harrison Smith, but unless he's going to take a massive contract restructure, I think that he has to go. He's taking up a lot of space. So you get Jabril Peppers, you get Sean Murphy Bunting. I think that if you want to bring back Patrick Peterson, that's possible, but he's got to be on like a $1 million contract, if that. If it's anything
veteran
more, literally veteran minimum. Get him the fuck out otherwise, okay? Then you're going to be drafting, signing a little bit more depth. Like you can probably play, like Cam Dancer will be back. We're going to have Caleb Evans back. We're going to have Booth Jr. back, and you can play Duke Shelley on the outside. So there's future there. Okay. Now go to the linebacker position. The only person here that I really would want to get, Levante David is available. Devin Bush is like, it's going to be Deion Jones,
You
Levante
don't want
David.
Devin Bush, trust.
It's a depth signing. Okay. Not going to go for much, but Devin Bush.
I just want to say, hey, Devin Bush, that might be a name coming up on this podcast a lot when you're getting angry.
But Deion Jones, Levante David, Devin Bush, Anthony Walker, any of those, preferably Anthony Walker or Deion Jones. I think that Brian Asamoah should be the starter next year, or should be getting a majority of the playing time. Okay. Last thing for the defense, specifically, the other big name player that I really want to get, Daron Payne is a free agent currently, unrestricted free agent, going for about, I don't know what his value will be. Let's see. He
can go for something.
It's thinking that it's about 19 million per year. So it's going to be a big signing, but releasing all that contract, releasing all that space, hopefully we'll get that. The issue now will be whether or not they re-sign Adam Thielen. Okay. Now we go to the offensive side. Okay. Or if they restructure Adam Thielen, release him. Garrett Bradbury is no longer on the team. He's an unrestricted free agent. So unless they want to draft a center, definitely have to make a lot of depth signings for the offensive line too, by the way. But I think that they could get Nick Martin, Connor McGovern, somebody like that who's on the lower side, who's still a big player who has starting experience, that they can be the starting center. I think they definitely need a bigger center this year because they were not repping that last year. And then there are a couple very bigger, much more like bigger name players that are guards. Dalton Risner for the Broncos, big name, pretty young player. I think that he could go in for right guard for Ed Ingram, although Ed Ingram has definitely looked a lot better as late. I will say that.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard his name in a minute. So
that's the route that I would go. I like focus on getting Sean Murphy-Bunting. Daron Payne would be great, but I think you release Eric, or like trade Eric Kendricks, try to see if you can get any like draft picks or something for that first, as long as people are picking up the cap space. The biggest thing though is I've seen people say that they want to trade Danielle Hunter. That's one of the only guys that I think I really don't want to trade. I think that I like he should be a Viking for life. Like I think that's a big thing.
That could be an interesting move.
Draft somebody opposite of him, but I also really think that like if you want to keep a 3-4 tech, put Danielle Hunter on the inside. Don't make him play outside linebacker, put him back on the line permanently at right end, and then have another outside linebacker. Or just run a 4-3 and put him back where he naturally is. Okay. Everybody was playing out of like their normal scheme. Like they were not used to that. Okay. Other thing is, like I said, cut Dalvin Cook, or don't I'm pretty sure cut him. I don't think he's up for free agency yet. So cut him. That's a massive cap liability right there. Cap casualty. I don't think that he played well enough this year to warrant getting all that money, to warrant staying on the team. He's a great player. He's one of the best running backs in the league. I'll give him that. But
are you comfortable with just going Madison then?
Madison's a free agent. I also don't think we re-sign him. I think that our starting running backs right now, so you can maybe get some depth signing there. But Kene Nwangwu and Ty Chandler will be our starting 1 and 2. We'll see if we get somebody else. But the biggest things in the draft.
Maybe Tajay Spears.
3rd round pick, Minnesota Vikings.
Maybe Tajay
Spears. Get him. You will not regret it. I promise you. Other thing, by the way, Dorian Williams. We need another inside linebacker. Draft him. You won't regret that one.
Okay. The draft expert is coming out already. Coming out of retirement. Coming out early.
But I really do think that they do need to cut Dalvin Cook. Need to cut or trade. Because they could probably get some stuff for Dalvin Cook by trading him. They definitely could.
100%.
Cut or trade Dalvin Cook, Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, Zadarius Smith.
I mean,
Smith.
In all reality, just fucking trade Dalvin to the Rams. They'll take him.
No, seriously, but they just don't have any picks. I think that if, let's say, Christian McCaffrey went for a second, you could probably get a 3rd for Dalvin Cook right now.
I'll be honest, I'm not that tapped in on trade value. I have no fucking clue. It sounds right. I don't know, but It sounds right.
Hopefully you could get a clip out of any of that rant.
No, I do think overall
I can just quickly restate it real quick.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really helpful for me. No, take your time, dude. Don't rush this shit. Like, we need this good.
Top offseason is just, oh my fucking God.
You're
Top
good,
offseason priorities for the Minnesota Vikings. Relieve Ed Donatell of his duties. Cut or trade Dalvin Cook, Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, Harrison Smith, and Zadarius Smith. Sign. Hold on. I ran through that pretty well, though.
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck, man. You just listed off like 7 dudes right there.
Restructure Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins.
Sign Justin Jefferson to the largest contract.
Sorry. Yeah. Extend Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson, and sign Daron Payne, Sean Murphy. Sign Daron Payne and Sean Murphy Bunting.
There you go.
We'll start with that. We can start with that.
No. That was plenty. That was plenty. That's a lot of information for people to dive in.
Sorry. Resign Duke Shelley to a 3-year contract.
I want to let you know, I made a quick look. I just looked up Daron Payne estimated contract value.
19 million.
I'm seeing 19 to 23 million annual value. And I'm also reading, I think the Commanders offered him a 4-year, 90 million, which he
declined.
Hasn't accepted. I'm not sure if he's declined, but he hasn't accepted it. Maybe it's still on the table and he's like, yeah, we'll do this. But who knows? I'll fucking know. I do think Daron Payne's gonna be
the thing is though, like
really big name free agent.
Dalvin Tomlinson was our starting D tackle this year. Great player. He's a really big dude, but he is a free agent this year. This season. So we need to have some depth there. We need to sign somebody.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it can't happen. It will. That is a big financial commitment. I
guarantee you somebody's going to come in the comments when you make that TikTok and they're going to be like, well, actually, you don't know the Vikings cap space. They won't have enough to sign Daron Payne to a $20 million contract after that.
Yeah, that's why Everett started off by saying fucking trade Dalvin Cook and cut Harrison. So that's kind of where that angle came from. But that's all right. Just
might
listen
still
to the
not have enough after that. I haven't done the math on any of this shit. They might still not have enough after any of that. I know we're like -8 right now, so I don't fucking know.
I looked it up. Your contract situation isn't as bad as the Chargers, but we're not as bad as the Saints.
Well, also we have to extend Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. That's the big thing.
No, those are big time payments you got to make.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over. We are
also KJ Osborne's in the last year of his contract too. But I'd much rather sign fucking Justin Jefferson to a 7-year deal worth half the fucking cap space.
I just, this isn't even like a opinion. Like Justin Jefferson will sign a contract this offseason to be the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. He said
today that he will be wherever he is wanted. And if that's here, Minnesota Vikings in brackets, then I will be here. So it's,
do you like that?
In the Vikings' hands. It's in the Vikings' hands. It's on Quasi. Like, it's obvious that, like, obviously if he had the opportunity to go to the Bengals, I'm sure he'd love to be on the Bengals with Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase. But I mean, if fucking Quasi will pay him the money, I guarantee you
he's not saying no.
He'd be more than happy to be in Minnesota. Like, if they're gonna give him $240 million fucking dollars over 5 years, like he deserves every single penny that he's about to get. And I do not fucking care what you do to do it. I do not fucking care who you cut to do it. But Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, TJ Hawkinson, Brian O'Neill, those people should permanently be a part of the Vikings offense for the rest of their careers. All four of them. All four of them deserve to be on the Vikings offense for the rest of their careers.
No, yeah, I do think, I mean, we're obviously in a very tough mental space right now with how our teams ended their seasons.
Just fucking fire Ed Donatell already. I've been looking at Twitter all goddamn day waiting for that. That's going to be my Super Bowl this year.
It's just, like, there's just Ed Donatell and fucking Joe Lombardi. If these two aren't gone, I don't know what we're gonna do as
By
a
the way, the
podcast.
Vikings,
What are we gonna
the
do?
Vikings are the Vikings are the only team. The Vikings are the only team in the Super Bowl era to complete at least 80% of their passes with no turnovers, no sacks, and still lose. NFL teams were 47-0 in the Super Bowl era before yesterday's game. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Ed. Look what you fucking done.
No, yeah, I also did just want to say, you know, my boys got 5 turnovers and we lost. Like, Herbert's got to get a little bit of flack for that, right? No, boys? I mean, hey, I fuck with Herbert hard, but I mean, we can't
Although
be doing that.
Daniel Jones for making this look like a fucking JV football team.
I do like, okay.
Somebody
Maybe,
tweeted.
actually, no, I'm not giving Trevor Lawrence any credit, even though
Somebody tweeted out that Cooper Kupp is better than Justin Jefferson, and his argument was that Justin Jefferson had 47 yards in the biggest game of his life. One, definitely not the biggest game of his life because he played in the Natty. Cooper Kupp did not do that. Second thing, it's a little bit difficult, when he's not getting targeted once in the second half. But on like the first 2 drives, he got 6 receptions for like 50 yards or like 40 yards. So you can shut the fuck up.
Going back to just that last play, Justin Jefferson double coverage. Like, would you even be mad if Kirk threw it to him?
No, I mean, fuck. He was in double coverage when he came down with that
whole
pass.
game.
Bills.
So fuck it, just throw it to him.
He had a Dory Jackson in fucking hell though. Like he had a Dory Jackson's in hell.
Yeah, Dory has a special place in my heart as a USC boy.
Okay,
but...
all right. We've been I've been going for a fucking minute. All right, with that,
no, get it out.
I will have more for the rest of the offseason. Trust me, I will have a full plan laid out later.
Get it out. You deserved it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Rate us 6 stars, 5 stars on Spotify. You can find us at Waterboy Pod on Twitter, YouTube, and on TikTok. We are booming right now. We have an Ohio State TikTok going off right now. Don't know why, don't know how, but we do fucking numbers.
Go Bucks, baby.
You can find us at our handles below on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Waterboy's out.
We're the biggest losers on earth.